0.7 Asampa FM Sony Amrana Subio the Ekosiisen Jumediano Air Bremo. It's a Monday afternoon, a brand new week in the year 2022. Ekosiisen is live and airborne. Tell a friend to tell another friend to tune into 94.7 or in Kraiha na Uben radio fa radio neto 94.7 outside Accra. Your affiliate radio stations ahodo will be brave. Our monso efa yenjumedi live. Enti ma yenna wonyinara ase na yema mu amutie o Ghana hafa na nyina akwaba. Emra Ekosiisen. So as we begin another week in the year 2022. Into what Tamale higher Kesmi FM, Salagakan FM, Suni, Sunyani 14 higher Storm FM, Japekrom and Idaswo FM, or Wenchi, 2 radio stations, Iriase FM and a Royal FM, or Boasi 14 or PZ Radio, or a Comadan, a higher Cruise FM, or Finso Time FM, Asante Achemagogo, Adansia FM, or Jokwa Bankam Radio, Koforidia, Afima Radio, Takrade Aseda FM, Bibiani 14 or Chiame FM, Ejura Neje FM, and a Today's Radio. Mayena Munyinara Ase. I'm on stations no endorso in the US of A, Golden Radio in Worcester, Hope for Life Radio, Ewo Virginia, Oko United Kingdom Abawa Radio, Amansan FM. Your NASPA Radio, Winners FM, and a host of other radio stations FI in Jumediano live. In China, GL Radio Online, and so FIA. Miena Wunyinara Ase, na Yen Simon Makwaba, and Famumra Ekosiisen. And a Joada, Medidio Sabonso, from Yobi, Meda Production Team, and I said Dominic Kisi Yaboa, Nana Chum Berema, Jackson Osei in Tiamwa, or Eric Opare, popularly known as DJ Ayo, and a Queen Star in Japan. And I may hear some segment will be joining us. But first, an information minister of the Republic, the Honorable Kojo Oppong-Nkrumah, Ebedin Komoye MP of Fuasi Ayerebi constituency. Unim say last week the two men say cabinet one quarterly retreat, the first for the year 2022. The Eastern region. I say Eastern region, right? Yeah. Okay. In the Pediase Lodge in the Eastern region. In the same meeting no aba awie. Decisions by na cabinet eteke a fa wo na efa menso ehon. Information minister wa hayene no ebedi ho nkomo. Ma memfa seda ema boafo eboa ye me de Ekosiisen ebremo. Sounds of our time, your lifeline properties, Edu Motors. Also your light has come. Provident Insurance with Provident Man Ear Covered and Agbeve Herbal Center. Me hear some segment and so Cocoa Milk, Ostek Properties, Obapa Product, EcoBank Ghana, and a Rocksters Roofing Systems. Your interviews are here on this show. DBS Roofing Sheet, Roofing Papa Fie, HEPA Plus Mixture, and a discussion segment and so Weber Call, Weber We Care, Franco Trading Enterprise, Phone Papa Fie, Dependable Herbal, and Emaros International Limited. And you may quite boy media Ekosiisen Abremo. Join us on Facebook, on YouTube, on Twitter, on Instagram, and let's stay interactive. Our message is the brain. You be kind in Yara Eddie Amount. Men say remember Honorable Akwaba near in common as so Kojo Oppong-Nkrumah Ghana in Kasamafo. Honorable Akwaba that's saying. I am no crazy.
I serious power. So the whole year, me who Kasa de Kasa or telephone so near dear, but say Nipenim, yeah, into more official.
After Papa come to me, say upon me,
Yamiadum,
before say I will be Boko,
Bibiaboko, also want to say
Adomia, last week, you had to join me at Tier 40, say cabinet a retreat, a pedias.
Yeah.
Mejidi Sena Owo any who statement Ode Etuja and Owahaidi may go through statement or say cabinet has held the first of its quarterly retreat for 2022 between the 17th and the 20th of March at Pediase Lodge Ebri in the Eastern region. In addition to the scheduled appraisal of the performance of government programs, cabinet also extensively discussed the impact of global economic difficulties on Ghana and the Ghanaian people. President Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo approved a number of far-reaching measures aimed at mitigating the depreciation of the cedi, ensuring expenditure discipline, and providing relief in the face of global fuel price hikes and inflation as well as ensuring that priority programs meant to grow the economy are protected. Finance Minister Ken Ofori-Atta will provide the details of measures later this week after consultations with key social and economic stakeholders. Government appreciates the effort of all who contributed to a successful retreat and looks forward to the support of all Ghanaians in implementing the agreed measures. Ain't statement free Hobaye.
Yeah.
Great. Retreat nankasana bibi ne occasion and say the normal retreat
I'm okay introduction every quarter be a multimedia crowd. Every quarter, I think the board will meet every quarter to assess share the various heads of business units in Sano, Seneko, how much more at the national level. And President Akufo-Addo Abayinkwa is a standard practice every quarter. You have an opportunity to retreat and to look at a Juma Yadesi and so Yadama ministers ahodo. So one of departments and agencies Juma Muya Sena Kwakusi then Akechi then Abebumu Ebia was yes Bibi and I say Bibi Kahu.
Yes.
And quarterly retreat. Now we at about a time at the same time, and commodity ewo hopa about sene wiase nyina sikasem akwako gina ahokyere aba wiase nyina bia kan e Ghana ha say and I'm say your COVID issues are outstanding sabre so ye anything in addition to the normal discussions yebekwa akoye was say sanema we say babeka ho nti you make it time echo through sanema we say extensively.
Oh, okay. Ain't after the meeting, government are taking decisions, be right?
And it won't say, usually we cabinet retreats. Na trebi amiankasa me address it, press ewo pediase. Bekaya mine several times. In fact, there was one on Mampeni Ankasa, and address it. Nane Sunday and you mean to the fellow Ghanaians. The two was Adan is also fellow Ghanaians. I'm speaking to you from the pediase.
Yes.
And I'm so I've come to your homes.
I've come to your homes.
From the pediase resort. Inti atorebi o Mampeni address atorebi or the Sheni Chiamiano semi address. And nra yenwi intem inti yewie statement the issue essentially was to let the nation know say samote sempeni for atnasi di nkomo no kre na mpeni for atnasi di nkomo na niam beye num nsia bia yesi sudua no ne poma sibre eni na kwan be fa so ama obi aso atiniti eno na ma enra na just a statement but of course that statement didn't go into details on several substantive measures because ejuma bi o I'm said throughout this week and no na nkomodi no so in fact em say Bako and was the first one about which is Bank of Ghana. On Monetary Policy Committee meeting. I think last week by Thursday. Titamana your cabinet no. Now almost your modia.
Okay.
But definitely there are more yen a kayena. Inti nese or be either some press conference and some issue statement.
Okay.
On I think it's out already. On almost omuniama or moye ewoho. And alongside that, they are buying so yes, you will be as what.
Okay, and Bank of Ghana, that's so more decisions. No, will be those decisions that affect the fall of the city. And
the Bank of Ghana usually deal with monetary policy.
Yes,
any inflation. Into monetary policy, I mean that's a currency. Yes. CD,
yes.
The Bank of Ghana when they maybe obey affect CD, Then at the same time, and also in terms of inflation, Bank of Ghana will maybe also be because on our inflation so directly, also maybe obey to affect inflation.
Okay, Inti, I will take you back to the statement. The statement says President Akufo-Addo approved a number of far-reaching measures, and far-reaching a bit instructive. How far are we looking at, Honorable?
Very instructive. First of all, Maminche Bako has to do with our borders.
Okay.
And Bay and Nine kind of deals with in fact me and San DHA deal with the economy and the development and the chatway security. About on the borders now about 2 years ago. And COVID-19 ebeboyum from 2017 abedu 2019 na ye peja yimu anisa ohwe ye ki niema na ye wo memu ha se ye peja yimu anisa 2019 December, ena Wuhan, China, omuhu yare friend of COVID.
Yes.
And because in the year 19, almost COVID-19. By 2020, your course 6 months fi Kumasi buy no. Near recorded your first cases were Ghana just at the end of quarter one. 50 sad time and I'll be seen there. A buy has been forced to introduce a number of measures. And so near man was a the boy who buy. And then Yamia Dum, and Namo yet to Nintiariano, Anoa Brasse, as at Thursday, Friday, Nanipa Bako pe and the critical condition, Nipa Bako 1.
The whole
Ghana now 1. I'm say we daily infection rate, baby ababi do above 4 more. Hospitalization was, close to nothing. And I heard the number of people, so I have vaccinated and numbers no more page. I say health phone, bet me a more update. Enti ye dum pempen so be a omampeni aji atum se e was say be land borders na aka no. Enti in fact nyese ono na waje atum ono na wama instructions e baby edu no. Opese be land borders no in the shortest possible time. And then e was ye yansa na be. Tiano na task force for ni epidemiologist ni medical health for no mama so ati say baby a e was ye dey maybe go akwan mu around the borders na make sure say be mpo a yare no ebi ntumi emfom emba na say bi befom abakra mpo a ebi hu ne aso ano ntem san say yare no obakofo ene kofa fia ma no ne ba ya nipa wu kakra wo Ghana nkofo yare ye tutu Accra Kumasi and contiguous districts mu productivity ba nipa bako pen kofa ba nti ye bi land borders no e asempa ne mum kwan ben e be fa so ya e be bo oman no ho ba at the same time ye bi borders no ye borders bi o what is northern periphery ho no enye covid nko insecurity ka ho nti we hwɛ dia AC wo Burkina Faso coming from the Sahelian regions there was security worries e wo ho ti sa bre a wo bie sa borders no then ye ne make sure say bambo so e be koso wo ho until Omampeni take a decision to open the borders. And then you be a boy who buy test a year to say what airport say we take a decision say do na yin fi home say kakre be the friend at risk populations health furniture say still I will say e bi mu wo a test home to wine you be testing what are the conditions around those ones and you near market here health for no ni
and task force no
any task force ni immigration for ni soldier for ni ade all of these restrictions no more no my way minim so mampani na nkasa beto na num to on that particular matter now why the necessary announcements but it's a decision he has made say pepe aye do nemra so say was here to me be a border
and you see the decision has been made say land borders no should be opened and testing at the airports no and so yenyai
eso beti enyai kra but eso beti there will be some nkophobia still I will say a test one why no dentia so fine tuning because as much as possible no per se ye as many people as possible if free mo into at risk no or more interrogate health for no view of at risk population say I then away risk now we risk now then away they also say even after this one I was still start testing or handy or more yes
those details will come later
once they conclude and Omampeni signing officer okay is comfortable with these ones he will then proceed to make those
in the meaning say on the opening of the land borders now as we speak you name specific time or date you baby
one more timeline subject to omomnium was area until almost obey the Moya Brennan then he will proceed to take a decision on it.
Does he share the opinion say I say a chedodo because you who say COVID impact ne how an man for yarne ade abras no a check akra land borders no a cripple economic activity and the closure of those borders no cripple activity in these towns. With this decision.
The question is then threshold na ubi use or no because at this threshold. Nipa or susun say ya chedodo no threshold ben na use. Is it 5 people or 2 people or 3 people? Ebin to wa sebe utumi kano easily. But a wona ye de akofuna na shon sa say Ghana for 33 million iso.
Yes.
Na ebiem free mu.
Asempa FM.
Na yare we aba. Na we impose these restrictions our borders are. Then threshold and a use even with the threshold or mobile with a young buyer so say I can't pay back on or critical care infection in can say it because a debe preparedness and a moye at the border said ne bia for
MM.
And then mechanism na mu use. Omo explain bi kire no. Ono so one health advisors. Health advisors ne ade no so challenge their task force for ne ade eka. Question ni bi ho a afi we say professor for ya toma o mana ede. Sampa we dey say yes anhwe mu kakra. You see, omampani eba no COVID restrictions where every decision, I believe that maybe one of these days there should be a camera in one of these task force meetings. Now, the kind of interrogation, because every single decision I will be taking and the most important in Sunsanso is say nipankwa until you interrogate into say then ube you borders or easy so because be okay no be a then because the COVID no encore totally it be a Ghana internally na no Brazil but Togo, Burkina, Ivory Coast kakra and then into into the country until a mechanism na put in place be protected the population. Because I went to me and no, that's say you could be an any cost 90.
Yeah, but so measure those decisions against the economic livelihoods of the people there. It is a share for 2 years. Now the borders here are closed. Among for Numa Egu. And even in court, more than we are lawyer for, more kind the reasonable man's test. And the reasonable man, bet me will say, at the end, yes, brass. Let's open this.
No, the number one priority in life.
Absolutely.
Nti question, first question is a den ban bona mode ato ho na yabo life ho kwa. That's the first. Nye say say at the end the aseko debut. A den mechanism na mode gu borders na ebebo nipa enkwa ehun ban. And I make a choice even when he has said say okay internal no motumi control ya ba be do baby. Number C, to assume. Emraso se me pese mi bie. Chire me de amoye wo borders na. E di egu akwem. Afi omo sisi na wo start punch mu question ba ko mienu miensa. Bon se tokuru kakra bedem. To say okay me mamu be na wo twe ba ko. Mon ko na mon ko tighten sa ne ma no. Na mon be convince ye nyina ye wo ha se ade we bia ensan ko fansunsan so bond FM right. Those are say Oyo Mampenia, those are the considerations I will go through, not the mere fact and conforce you say at the end of Grampono, Yakobo and TMB.
Okay, and we should give ourselves a week or two for the details of Saudi.
Back to President in about a week, by the end of this week, to come and give the final and then I'm sure say if he's convinced by then he will be able to make the necessary announcement if there are further works to be done at Obama Aswati, but he's made those decisions and given those instructions.
Okay, and I know you're with COVID and related borders, issues, any borders, no? Good. In the statement, the far-reaching measures aimed at one, mitigating the depreciation of the city, and only the Bank of Ghana didn't release their ban. And I say a buy was something else.
Offer city. And only a currency
yes.
Sidi na ho odin ejina enema hodo so titiru ye balance of trade enema ahin na ye export ya yenya fanise dollar film ene enema ahin na ye import dia ye export no do so sen dia ye import no na sesika yenya fi exports do so sen dia yenya fi import nti balance of trade a positive ana a positive po balance of payment no et sen Bano nitua ankasa are we earning more dollar than we are exporting more dollar? Uye no another question crampo ni say would dollar reserves go central bank and then only in months of import cover because month by month no isika sebi spending no na economy and usually calculating as months of import cover. I'm say last one I'm here almost 5 months of import cover into what dollar reserve wo ho balance of trade no positive but balance of payment be akohwem afie we se ohwe nkrata mu a car ho do a ye dia e betuatua no se min ha mani nkan wo se etua be abebe 4 billion e ma ne ko say even wo reserves $10 billion na da ho a 10 wote 4 fi mu a e cases na che se eso ehwan se bosumi bia no enkofo a o ma ekọ China ba o ma ekọ ha ba o ma o mu demand dollar kakra na se bosumi bia 500 million net crani be free more na so tia ne sao nti demand and supply no me per dollar me nya dollar na fi bon se ne bo so typically what happens is at the beginning of the year no bon se aban ye euro bond na se dollar ni bi ba be ka ho a demand no cry no not just when your extra reserves are it to me hold the market na. Into there are several factors: balance of payment, balance of trade, senior Bank of Ghana nankasa a regulatory market, access to dollar and keka hone ade. In fact, another function the amount of liquidity CDA a war system CDA war system ni mu ninsunsun so dollars and say because you chrome for per speculation no. There's this habit say obi nye sika kakra CDA so ma me fen koto dollar nto ho e bia dachi bi no dollar ne be konanim nti etori bi na wo a lot of CDs in the system so abon say CDs no so chase to buy hard currency as a store of value ansana baby ejina crampon ne ya ban say afie we say yenko amansan sikedwa so international capital markets enko bobisia nti obi ote ho no the expectation is say any dollar bibre emfia brutri emma inti pressure beba cedi no so inti mame nkoto bi crampon to eno ye added speculation about be can we see but just the mere you say dollar bibre emma nti no ne no ko ena say we hwa US since we are seeing how training are there by the US for himself for the first time, if I'm correct, for the first time in 40 years, or more increase interest rates. Or more increase interest rates. Akwesi bruni na nko dini sika ebeba emerging market. No say no ani nia kwesi koko. Say ono sini rates kosro. Ti endi onfani sika no enkoho. Okay, kani na bomu pressure kakra ba edi no so. But part bi o Bank of Ghana na betumi asolve. Bank of Ghana so independent institution. Obi antumi kan chende onye. Inti Bank of Ghana ebetu ni de ho anamo yen ye redia I mean and that's they've always done it was so mutumi smoothing trade no despite reserves wo ho ne de beba na de trade nankasa no any cabin speculation also mutumi ye ho adwuma kakra ansa na de aban ankasa so be to ensure say balance of trade any balance of payments so ebegina ne nan so anase ye de be support na ban wo de or de be Omampeni taking some decisions quite clearly. I was a finance minister trying to share their Bank of Ghana for EBN and then I catch him say, "Oh my, it be between time I me feel officer me bahano me hunu ye." But omomo yo omo de anywhere there was a buying so ye no ye be. But the currency is a matter of interest to the president and we're taking clear decisions. To Huanamo Bank of Ghana any area they also buying the support and a buying so
and a buying the who would put that out why
finance minister of course finance minister
yeah. But I enra after meeting no last week after meeting no president in media na kasai right
Debbie
on the media na kasai
Debbie
okay because there is this video I mean who on social media enra and it was a conversation around the free fall of the city and the president was trying to diagnose baby as our problem, the structural way it is our problem.
And maybe a bare old video. Say social media near the into before old video. No, actually be to so none in the more said there and come off for BSC and BB. But
yeah, because I found it interesting because in that video,
Penny has not spoken to the media
on the media.
And right, if we hope pretty late, I think somewhere around 9 o'clock. Thereabout now. You real formal discussions no cry. And sana, informal will be one-on-one be near the regional ministers about person needing common there. He didn't speak to the media afterwards. Me so I didn't speak to the media. Statement buy and no pay crown finally issue statement.
Before some about the other areas or statement the capture, I made this point I think last week. Say I was thinking personally, say in the midst of turbulence way, crisis way, as we saw the president do in the fight against COVID, it was regularly on your mouth for Ekasa. Don't you think so?
Oh, I'm penny Bekasa.
Oh,
no, Bekasa. Say, what study the Ekoso globally now?
Yes.
Yenru baby a crowd.
Asempa FM.
What do you pack of Ukraine map? No, na baby a Mariupol. Kiev,
yes.
Lviv, Odessa,
yes.
Near my Ekoso, you knew baby Accra. The difficulties that the world is about to experience, I'm saying in Fitiasi, and I mean can't be akuma. Early days yet, as much as possible, we'll gather all the information that you need. We'll give you the kind of instructions. I also give you. Me, from how I see it, I think before the end of the week, and I said by the end of the week, or my penning any because I think I've even given you a hint where you speak to. But even before then, necessary measures be a was say COVID say answer no be start fellow Ghanaians near start airport screening nin keka ho ne ade nkakra kra no akra ko airport kra kokohwe even before edum pempen so bi na was say ono abam no penin dware wi na nsuasa na fe was say ono abam. I don't think say you are at that level. Until as at now the government structure is dealing with what has to be dealt with. I am confident I only be doing Komo, I think maybe by the end of this week. Or State of the Nation address or several platforms are but this is just the early days.
My member back to the statement again into after CD okay the measures will be ensuring expenditure discipline. And on I say what you're saying.
A bit more friend of fiscal discipline, a bit more friend of fiscal policy measures. Make sure I say what you fa obi wo obosumi aketu ya oje ansa na wo ala nkakra na wo ye na minimu no
galamse kakra
wo kakra wo
yes
at the same time no wo niam wo spend on bosumi bia wo school fees kakra wo rent kakra wo petrol kakra wo beto sebe do Friday na pesa wo to bia ba koma Dominic money ade a wo de Japan Pentecost spend minimum so no be but utimi you ani no anum kakra me until wo expenditures say wo revenues no enso expenditures na ebi abebo besia kakra de aka ebi abese otoka afoforo bi usika na nso opese otodan na asase bi usika na nso nti bebo besia kakra ka ho nti a combination of revenues and bosia kakra wo boy the friend of financing and now be spending but wo spending no say ochene bia BBS na multimedia COVID aba na yesi pay na moje na at the end of the month de bia no say kra na be ko 15th of next month ana yebetua 50% because na mamo aye den kika na afibon say we influence na mma se na na wo se ba no bosia no ebia wakobo bi kra ka ho because of we influence a emba ti bosia ne mo apagya kakra we expenditures wo hwese ni gina sa abre ni bia beka say akoso ya wo say ete we so ze bia first na if you say air condition miensa na yeso a sese no ni bibi yen so baako first na wo twika mimi twika ka baako de nkwala ne ko school da bi sese nyine be yusu ka baako na no pa misiwa na misi nkwala na miso makwa adwuma na save petrol miensa na wo be yesa the friend of expenditure disciplinary measures and as a fiscal disciplinary measures no senia wo be wi akire no na de akoma ho akire unti na wo pay na mba wano because multimedia pay na mba wano because of COVID-19 no na enye say why wadwin say media cars minu na me use no eno na me use air conditioner eno na me dem Dominic bia no de bia onum club wi no asan go da aka ho na de bi nye no nti afi wo be taking measures a wo de be rationalize wo fiscal no and I say titiri expenditure side ho no obe rationalize nti measures are be raise revenue kakra measures are be cut expenses kakra na ka na dam finfin na bosia na wo bo finfin watumi ates no na be oba no amemmo mu they are the same thing revenue financing and expenditure edi kind of mampani amayate expenses so by 20%. He has given instructions say I will say you ready say
20% na are reflected.
It is an instruction across board. You will match mu. Into quarter one allocation ya the minister be a department be agency ya so 20%.
Okay.
Of what was budgeted.
Okay.
Yebeko enim no mampeni ma so ati say for the next 3 quarters of the year, and I will say further cuts. Right from Onone Sroho, Office of the President, down to even the flagship programs of government.
Including flagship programs
from Sroho BC form.
The further cuts no would be in percentage terms, no, you're just saying.
No, you're in finance minister, any the various ministers, any heads of programs, near there, the guiding principle of their mind, and he was very clear on those instructions, say deficit 7.4, no, because there's what we call the deficit path.
Yes.
And you say you borrow 7.4 this year, next year you'll say down to 6, then by the following year, you call back to 5, and I hold no be at Senya COVID ni nyama beto yanka yem free 5 no ho. 5 no ho na near die san share mrakra de chechire ho. Nti whatever happens, cat bi ambe bia obi to me gina table so obi to me the ambe bia or so no 7.4 no. So finance minister ni no maka no. That is a detail they are going to flesh out. so that in the end, 7.4 discipline na no. Yes,
initially, what the finance minister announced, 20% cut, no, and also affected government flagship programs,
and only across ministries, departments, and agencies, as I know it to be. And I think, say, even flagship programs. Me, I don't run a flagship program at my ministry, so I'm not privy to
privy to some
yes,
information.
But they are affected across board.
Across board.
Yeah.
But this new instruction from the president
is quite clear.
Say even the flagship programs.
From the top coming down.
Coming down.
Quite many bit me fast on achieve. Me who say news portals maybe a true story right now. Say me say
yes.
Yen cut flagship programs. Now me hear na ma can't mean cancer. And in fact, I'm present me quoted text of what I said no. But me cancer. I'm say as I explained to you, me can't say you say you cut flagship programs and I cancel flagship programs. Me cancer. Me say penny say from top to down, you make sure say everybody fits within size 7.4 no, and nobody is off the table. Say, oh, they can't want some more. If you're not so baby sit down, everything is up for consideration. It is a finance minister and in penning for consideration area. Na say, oh, they no based on the scope. I will say a cutting say, oh, they based on scale. I will say a cutting say near there.
Because what citynewsroom.com reported, and we're in quote, all flagship programs, including free SHS, up for review. Kojo Oppong-Nkrumah hints.
Okay, come Obe kuti dia mianka sami kaya no. Where their network no account, but mpachonka ko inside na kind dia miami kaya no kuti no.
Okay, let me get that. But while we search for the information no NSA Omanpenyin orders awama say further expenditure cut no everything I buy spend on ebeka
from esro ABC form everything is up for review. Inti emayen kase Kojo Oppong-Nkrumah ministry there, a hodie yenko. Pacho, what must say? Yenka said the cut will affect everything. You see, BBI a fair game to look at this point that you are cutting from the top to the very bottom. I don't know if I've explained it well enough.
And BBI would include, for example, free senior high school.
Pacho, from the top to the bottom. In fact, okay, quote from City. I'll say all the 16 flagship programs are to be looked at.
Okay.
Are to be looked at. Mankase to be cancelled. Mankase to be cut. We say all the 16 flagship programs are to be looked at. The president has directed that the flagship programs should be protected and fully implemented to ensure that the impact is achieved. However, he wants it done within the constraints of item number 2, which is the fiscal framework and expenditure framework, 7.4 na Inti yenye bibia within the 7.4, but munko him they are itwaso they are tete ho kakra they are reduce scope na scale be no near hwena so that in the end 7.4 nana yete ho. And then I went further to say all the 16 are up for discussion. None is off limit. Only that the president has laid down the red line that we will not compromise on the fiscal consolidation agenda because our real problem over the years has been the year-on-year deficit going out of hand.
And the consolidation is
7.4.
It's pegged at 7.4 deficit. 7.4, good. It is say OSHA flagship programs now, and quite obvious why I may have mine. So we were not nipa baby na interest planting for food and jobs,
free SHS, 1D1F,
1D1F, and all of those. Yes, all of those projects. So offer free senior high school, for example, and meaning say details will be fleshed out later. Now, say Basa and also be up for review. One would say, maybe if we had listened to some well-meaning Ghanaians and Massa advice earlier, and we could have saved ourselves and saved some money. And if, for example, the former President Mahames and a whole lot of other Ghanaians, Amasa will say, maybe it's time we looked at this whole free SHS again and reviewed it. At least because of the amount I pump into that project. And you want to do this here. Uncle Ban is saying.
Say Uncle Ban say the cut will affect free SHS.
Yeah, but everything is on the table.
Yes, which means it can or cannot. It may or may not. They have to go and do the work and come. So you're inviting me into speculation. That's the point I'm making. Me know yet you who the outcome of homo rationalization program.
Yes.
Any comment you ask me to make in that area is speculation. That's what I'm saying. Because I say Uncle Barney said they'll cut a particular program. So say me my advice on program X. Now muko review and advice na me fire no then to assume into affecting anything we say now is speculation. Into momunko yo majuma.
Yeah, but I would be also right and fair to make the point, say we will share resource allocation to all these programs. It's only prudent to imagine, say, the onya chunk of the allocation, say can't be bad. That side will be cut, and the free SHS will be top on that list.
So say there are any speculation. My mom, another example. One of your biggest spending areas, say defense and security, doesn't necessarily mean say defense and security should be cut. It is possible, say defense and security, because of the nature of defense and security, the cut will not affect it. Me know here, you bet me spend 2 hours I won't debate, but it's speculation. And I do by next week. Ubejai. Unja o ha me wa say. Nti mo munye wi omba me am no here I be go through one by one.
You be say the home
come.
But Ghanaian parents are enya ahotoso omumu.
Yep.
Say enam mo policy a mo de promise e won ti no omugina so to abama mo.
Yep.
They will not wake up one day and hear say, oh, aban say have a free SHS ne cross will buy a boarding house. I was say we utria na duane sika any ade.
Omampani ye nyina ya dia tum say your deficit is 7.4 this year.
Yes.
Omampani say stick to the 7.4. We or say munkosi nkunwa na monhwe de amokate a ebe yi. De ambo bi a mun fit within 7.4 no. Mo munkoye mbra. Omukoye ba me no yete ase. Say further analysis bi o ho a.
Yeah. But we should be open-minded. Say everything is possible.
We should be open-minded. Say everything is possible. From the very top down to the bottom. Everything is possible. We should be open-minded.
Okay. Ma main kind way na fe as we wrap up. Minim say we will meeting be or say Ekosiisen. This is your colleague, MP for North Tongue, posting on Facebook 3 hours ago. Say leaders with foresight across the world, from New Zealand to Rwanda, cut expenditure long ago. They didn't wait for total crisis to compel them to make cuts at the presidency by 30%, when in all reality, there is nothing left to spend. 25 million Ghana cedis ultra luxury charters on my mind. Where Samuel Okujeto Ablakwa.
Michiano no period.
At the presidency, what decides somebody cut 30%? That's what is in the state in the post out here. That's why I'm asking you.
No, my catcher said, me honestly, politics, Bibiani politicizing, me enjoy it. We just start to call her, think about the best at political. My catcher say, cuts are go through from top
to down.
Everything is fair game to be examined at this point in time. Me crampo de me and we nya buying one set. We make Kojo Oppong-Nkrumah. Media me susun say we cut na me nya me bisa e parliament say MPs. Yes, so you take a voluntary cut to your salaries.
More salaries.
Yes.
MPs.
Hey. Ade.
That's how we are hadrin.
Oh, ade na me hadrin.
That's also was any MPB na wa ban mu.
No, me say voluntary.
Okay, voluntary.
No, wa ban mu uni aban mu pay pe. We MP wa ban mu uni aban mu.
Yeah, but say ebi nipa no wa ban mu other sources.
No. In fact, so me say me MP say minister. Into America as minister.
Yes.
Me MP pay na me into America as minister. Into me MP uni aban mu pay pe. Asemo America ne say ye cut from top to bottom. Me Kojo Oppong-Nkrumah me say aban ye ne die wi a. Me nka me nya mesre parliament say yes MPs no 275 ne ho no. Yes, you take a voluntary pay cut.
Voluntary, they send you obi anye.
That's obi to me for obi because a bano compensation.
Yes.
Emra ewo ho determine compensation. Article 71 for say obi ne determine.
Yes.
Say the president nyo no determine the salary. Yes. Ministers nyo no determine salary. MPs nyo no determine salary. Your system for determination. But also bet me take a voluntary cut. Into for example, cuts ya executive contemplate So you cut no as executive decide say from a penny down you decide say you be cut your salary by X%.
Yes.
What you say? Sabri ya we are seeing na ho akire na Ghana so ho akire na me say me
MPs need show good faith.
No, me say me Kojo Oppong-Nkrumah.
You propose.
Me propose say me nia sam me mo ni ye nyina yeso ye take cut on the parliamentary side. Ni nyina ye mfemboa. Judicial service crampo e be possible a omoso take cut kakra ye nyinara. Ye take cut kakra ye mfenko ye. You see problem I want to me point osomesi ana obenten ba ko pese ye nko ana collective systemic idea yesi kasem nyina ye chicha na ye chichire. Eno ye me private adwin. Let me be very clear about it. Eno ye me private adwin.
But you would make that proposal on the floor.
I intend to make that proposal on the floor of Parliament. But I'm saying say enti say abana ye kan cut na say ma nya fi na we just una say be, you know, I don't want to go into politics on this one.
This is long overdue.
Yati. I don't want to politicize this conversation.
Providing relief in the face of global fuel price hikes and inflation. And about fuel there, you know how Ghanaians are very passionate about fuel issues.
Yeah.
More discussions on this particular item, no, Ekosiisen.
Maming bisa bibi just before then.
Okay.
Maybe at some point, because no credit be about fuel pricing. First of all, young politicians who are one side of the divider who can't send a favor. You need no credit petrol pricing. And even two, baby, and petrol pricing, we are seeing no. You can't no credit mobiante. So ubenya brea kadaba konanka wafa petrol price pump prices country by country. Or there are 10 or 15 countries. Na sisi na fabra sidimu. Na yenko through the analysis for your audience. Ube say ene auto petrol ewo UK and several other countries are no bokre in India.
Yeah, people reject that comparison.
Maybe before you reject, me say
okay.
Uno be there. Before you reject, first you must understand. Don't rush to rejecting it. Try not to assess no kure na se enye no kure. Say fuel prices at the global level, country by country. Bibrikra bo in Ghana because of some factors. The kind no ase.
Okay.
Uti no ase now we now say nanso or mine we say even though a fuel bo was wrong. Or more metro mass buses I no be full. So I don't need to buy fuel what point. Now if you bisa senti a hono or metro mass buses no one more funding is saying tia hano ye de no kwan ben na menewo ye funding. O starting na minti in common ye to me niko baby. Democracy there. Me de be say enye kabi mam kan bi amamu eye dodo adwen kire si abotre na kire wadwen. Asem na aka no memu na o nyina nti de aka na meso men ka me de ye be wie ne bi e say okay sa na ne ma num na ya aka no me san kra ya adwen mienu pe na ye nya adwen nti me I don't rush into those. Me say first point is o de da ba ko ye nya sa analysis no ye nyina be nya ye ho nti ase say no kore say we are seeing na and in fact I no pay na media news UK energy prices be cost ro kra bi aka almost the taxes for be crampo about UK because of global issues about COVID decline and Sana Russia and Ukraine in some because Ghana has first. Even
that comparison, one of our listeners, SND, when we were having this discussion last week, that comparison in the United Kingdom, for example, 15.08 Ghana cedis. How about cedis more? That's for petrol. Diesel is 16.66. Oko Germany are 14.50. That's for petrol. Diesel 18.09. In France, petrol here 15.94 cedis, diesel here 14.86. USA petrol 6.9, that's 6 cedis, 90 pesos. Diesel 8 cedis, 20 pesos. In Senegal, petrol here 9 cedis, 15 pesos, and diesel 7 cedis, 73 pesos. And at the pump here in Ghana, no. 8.40 at the time or Sundays, I think on March 16th, and then the Sundays are comparative way no area brain. But so we the European and the European countries in the USA free more. Now we share other African countries
Yeah.
Ours will be probably one of the most expensive, no?
Oh, that no me who article, the top 10 countries fuel expensive Ghana Crown in Africa. I can forward that article to you. But and no cranny debate. The question really is about the fuel on the Yehode. The point I was making is that as a first point,
Yes.
I will see a ma somentiasie bi and no credit bi bem. Sese yes will be boapaya and any three more tina petrol and diesel at a particular price in Ghana. We have to compare to the global context. But even after that, Ghana buying say, Mampeni Akufo-Addo say, on fan in science and the dem reform say, sa neti we asi baby bebre inti no yenya sa. Inti fuel pricing and yema be 9 bi and I affect 1 ne bo on the global market can ho bi. 2 your currency no send ya him no can ho bi. 3 your BDCs ne OMCs no margins send your calculate your margins can ho bi. 4 send your BDCs ne OMCs kwa mfa so nya hard currency e de koto fan wo de ba no e kan ho bi so ka se onko gina open market nkoto rate obi a eto foreign exchange obehu ni nsunsun so ebeba ansa na dia etwa to krampo ba bi omo source omo petrol cause Ghana ye import crude oil ye import finished products ti ba bi omo source fi omo to fi middleman bi ho ana so omo to fi refinery ho ankasa ni na affect inti ya de be ni betumi aye abasa na ma hodo we nyinara na ebe wi akire no na senia ne bo koso we wiase nyina yate asese ne bo koso we wiase nyina no ye de ne etumi asom kakra. For example, ufa taxes are no na po your calculation be actually me say levies na that's okay kabo mem say 1 cedi 90 pesos. 1 cedi 90 pesos.
All the statutory levies, no? In the price build up. No?
And no na me na po din kombo bi ni analysis a we chem say 1 cedi 90 pesos. 1 cedi 90 pesos no wo de opak ka say we year fi so. And no wo analyze it for the year almost 4.5 billion cedis. As kind of crying na many udin komo say nsunti o say afi we cuts on the expenditure side no. Okay. Say wo ka say we year free ho. Now one tackle near to say exchange rate. BDCs ne OMCs be our margin. Baby almost source fuel ni fi whether they are buying from middlemen and also from refineries. So be we actually no crano. Na prices no air cost still. Inti nipa na wo pesa wo dom no se nka wo hwe na eswati ama no onya mfaso wo bia. Then secondly at the same time no cramp no minus one san hwe another 4.5 billion. Inti wo se odigu nsani ani. Na only stakeholders no engage bind the say na bind pesa oye. Banka moso mu ye say boya ke the lasting results be Ghana for. Moso mu ye say brain ke the lasting results be Ghana for. Ti san komoni na odi boom. Senior by the time I buy announcement na nko yen say me nkwa me dia amayini a wo de no crampo na ebe wi achi na hwe prices a if ya brochire ba any margins said that so e be ad valorem on a dollar basis na nkeka on the we crap na still prices no kwa na ekon minim say what in commodity na sia nti me point on fuel ye mienu say di kan no e wo say e ma no kuredi bi da ho no bi ate ase say ade a yekoso wi ase afa na nyina because of conditions aba obi kan nye say bi a o make excuses na say odi try na bibi but ade o say ate ase so ni no kuredi mu no ade akoso wi ase afa na nyina but Ghana buying say onto ne nsangu wiem sa yekoso ntie na enya ne sa otu ho anamo se wamma nipa na nte ase say de yekoso wo Russia and Ukraine affected prices apart from no exchange rate affected prices apart from no baby almost source apart from no margin one man entity ni na ase a obi be kwa akoda odwin say de nti a petrol bo akosho ne say aban trimodin no de taxes atoto so nti aban yi ne tax a problem be solve baby kwa na nye no pe any the solution and I said no as a solution cry in yielding more than
but one critical item in the exchange rate no I know you are buying
no na say na makacho na say exchange rate medical no wedding common pa exchange rate war no but ono ye ne de no cry ban so be ne de cushion no nti wo solve wo to ajamo afo no na wo to momoni sofo wo deal with ni na free mu a eno na afi wo be wi akire no bo se wanya substantive solution wo prepare won say na say ni say we yin ni de pemfi so be wi na nkai ni na ateta ho na won solve problem
there the decision on fuel prices na be can finance minister come on ye be di ne ho sorry
Ebeka ho emse ono ne energy minister ne ade omo ne stakeholders into the statement as in so omo engage with social and economic stakeholders because you know ya Korea US were not consulted. Okay, say so we're not consulted. They say yes the aban deciding in there. But I'll say consultations no be asuti assess aban say an insunsun so wo so ni to so you say they can why be we na ba be we baby ejina no enye bakofo ko nyina na wo say ka bom.
Bank of Ghana increases policy rate to 17%.
To 17%.
17.
I see.
17%.
I see.
And no yenje ne saying asem papa ma yen.
Metias here in two areas. Say bako ne say on person mop up excess liquidity I was system no.
Yes.
Because you see, so kind of previous monetary policy committee reports now follow analysis now. Come here and say COVID time and I brought more reduce threshold for the reserve ratio.
Yes.
No? Sikakudi banks and some say banks no hopefully on lend it to private sector no. We growth in credit creation through the eco private sector.
Yes.
We analysis ni ya kama go say nye ho na neskano eco. Enti semetias ye probably what the Bank of Ghana wants to do is say excess liquidity now what system ni mu a ebi mususu say create room for the speculation to buy dollar based on all the other things that has happened no also to me emopo up kakra and only maintain say of why they would have increased the rate.
But what it then means, they say once a policy rate na no, banks also would increase their interest rates.
You
right?
expect ABR by that same you know. But the flip side, so to say, it means say obitia manone nanka say US paper more attractive to him into unfunny sika ne mbagana. Say na me say nkofo de sika be cut towards a hobby because for the first time in about 40 years US are buying increase your year. Now you also have an attraction or some sort of balancing out. We may need just a bit of time to look at it, but my initial thoughts, as it's coming through, no.
Okay. Kojo, you be jam ma wako toa wejuma so yenim say it is here share name when the finance minister will be addressing the country. And then we'll see. But no will hopefully be this week, right?
Yes.
Hopefully this week.
Yes. Hopefully this week. But the last two things I me person make was back we di kan bobro so kakra. Back development. You see, ufi asem na make no. In the end, so say what you expenditure so near Canada. O money the inform who. Or question bisa ne say that will be ebe school na yen school. Ye yare ebe hospital na yen hospital. Matade atete no menya foforo na menya foforo. Me book na atete no menya foforo na menya foforo. Into the friend of development, human quality indicators, they are Nkrumah for air no. Any programs would they deliver no. Say we are Onyankoma dear with them, you know, no yere motim personal moke cancer in area. Nkwala no suku, no mo ayare sabia, no mo ntade no book dear, ye burn it day. Mampenia semnes as much as possible, so we protect it side hono. Say kobane say ebi woman na uye emun sakra ne ye no aye. But in the end, no, the human quality indicators and I said the development indicators, no, I was so to mention about anti ubi ho beka so baby edu de. Me bani be affairs no ko GIS. Me pese me yin nam de ne ba school we say. Still obenya education. Ba bia na nye ahase de. Ebi o house you first no nanka mosesa school atade ende bia no. And I say every 2 weeks bia mo sha atade foforo. And I say bia ntade no more 10. What I say? Enti wo she ba ko joada we a this a 3 weeks time joada ansa na wasan share no a. Ebi o say baby edu ne de mobile just 1 week because you into me talk from unia nti development ne de ye be bo ho ban nsakra kakra bi e wo say to me ba mu ho no ye be hwe na ye ho ansa na de twa to cry which for me is a very big issue security. Increasingly intelligence reports are ba no emu ayurem. So we follow the Ekosiisen in the Sahelian region. Now, Nkrumah security and time this security home come apart from armed robbery near the police for issue statement back no. But we follow what is happening in the intelligence community. Emu hu kakra. Baby obe kono. Nkrumah edin but almost sleeper cells were. And you're worried about Nema Ekosiisen in the sub-region. Particularly from the security point of view, especially even at the time I have BBA about the sea. na saying some kind here marking kind stories from embassies or more make alert to or more citizens say said there's a lot going on in the intelligence community. Through what we call the Accra initiative, a new initiative to shore up a security or my two and among we were taking decisions be nti yebebo modern particularly intelligence architecture no yet to me a piano no akọ nanim kakra but yen kanina mfo ano dia yesre Ghana for ne say President Kufuor Aban time obeje akofuna no 2001 na baby a Ghana gina no kra no na emu awurem sen baby na ye gina but between 2001 and 2008 yenyina ye ni tua kwan otumi fa so dane niema epeja o man no kosi mpempen so pa ye fi he pekne ade ba President Kufuor Ado 2017 to 2019 say clear senior utumi dane niema nemo inherited 2016 end of year senior utumi dane niema edibedu mpempen so ansa na covid eba be hete ya Russia and Ukraine for so de omde abebom yen ye wa rehim pa se sa daeso pa ene nimde no mampani ene na bedwafo Nyankopon de adomom no Ghana fo betumi nya rehim se Nyankopon sa wo yeso eno a na ye besan de aye adwuma ya ebida e be 2001 to 2008 e be 2017 to 2019 and nebe be awiase de aba begine ya ebida se yenyina ye de opepa ne empai bo ene trimu popa etai Ghana echi se Ghana mpeni for monhwe na monfa ye cross baby aba bedu ya meji de se ni na be wi pay de amaye.
Two messages. Good afternoon. Please ask my friend Kojo. John Mahama and the SWAL NDC administration in 2013 to 2016 did a pay cut of 10% for all appointees. Did the NPP MPs do same? Ask Kojo this question for me. That's from Anthony Nupenu and Onode Weyaba. Your friend John Jenapose Obi asked Kojo, is it true our fuel is one of the most expensive in Africa or not? John Jenapose question.
Me say list time who are top 10 most expensive fuel countries. They are me who are na Ghana and Kambi. I can share it with you. They are me who are
in Africa.
JJ say oh another list be my who JJ they say me aminu no oh another list be my but they are me who are na Ghana and Kambi.
Nupenu so question
there. You see, and I make us say you politicizing him maybe a nya dia ye beko baby a say ode yem fa no mpo say tete no executive be kati ni pay parliament and kati omode meaning so be make a request to parliament at time or I don't have the benefit of that one. Say Tony was update and say obi make a request no and also me say no bentinsi onya o ma me hu me privy to that me na me MP me say sa ban take these decisions me crampo no me so say and say hwe say e be request na den wo opposition ye omani ya unka hu bia na nti me say me request
you will make that
me gidi say me nuanom no bi kra wo NDC ye request I will be happy to support because nyina no mote ase say I was seeing nyina contribute so we feel say politics into when you're interested I say no dey wo asem e hon dey me ni ntwini time Tony Michel.
Is e-levy still part of government?
Oh, it's part of the budget. It's part of the budget estimates.
But you seem to have moved on. This is a more BBI without. Me can say decisions are taking to bring the economy back on a sound footing. No?
Yeah.
So you are doing all of those without e-levy.
No. Are you going to say we are doing that without VAT?
There is no dispute around that, is there?
That what?
Around VAT.
That's not buy a minkan VAT myself. But VAT is a part of all the revenue measures. Yeah, buy a minkan income tax myself.
There's no dispute around that.
But what's the dispute about we are clear in our we are clear in our mindset. It is part of the appropriations that were approved. It is part of the revenue measures. We have a bill in Parliament that we are continuing to talk about. As and when we believe time is due for it to be passed, we will make that application to the House for it. Just like VAT, just like income tax, just like all the other revenue measures, property taxes, fiscal framework, won't be. Part of that's why I have not gone there.
But it will go back to Parliament.
It is actually in Parliament. Finance Committee approved a plenary.
The e-levy, you mean?
E-levy, yes. That's how you have followed everything that is happening.
Make us say the new one.
No. E-levy bill. Yeah, you finance committee. It was so abakra hona abano pai ya chairman of the committee ebe exercise a casting vote by majority decision onto the floor me who send for a picture these are the 13 saboteurs who voted we are no man.
What was the percentage at that time? Now 1.75 now.
Yes, 1.75.
Yeah, but you've told us what to swap about 1.7.
Oh, now, Mpacho, say what follow, say we are a young upcoming lawyer. What follow the lawmaking processes now? When the committee report is read, first report, a year on the policy of the bill, second year on the clauses.
Yes.
Now, at any stage, so be whether on majority or minority, feel or person amendment to it.
It can be done.
It can be done. It is a mind potri mupone say, or person from 1.75 about 1.5. Yebeko clause by clause can be moved by the chairman of the committee, the finance minister.
It doesn't have to go back to the finance.
It doesn't have to go back to the finance. I'm at some point I will see a year public education on the lawmaking processes because I thought it be a reportage and it be created different. Once there be a make say, who report said the budget has been approved. And you know, first one no. The economic policy of government and some about estimates and some you hear the appropriation. Maybe I will say a public education can go 40 processes now. But as now you levy across the finance committee, a cap plenary. And if there are changes to be made, and I believe there are changes that have to be made following all the consultations and changes that have to be made, those changes can be preferred as clause by clause amendments on the floor.
Kojo, we'll talk again. Ekosiisen say hi asempa 94.7 FM. Omahine Kwabena Asante is joining us near the Mehia Sem segment. No.